Welcome back to the Scope Podcast. This is the podcast where I catch up with a couple of boys from each team. This one is the Bunnies/Bunnings podcast. We've got the skipper, Adam Reynolds, and the skipper of the Bloat FC, Cam Murray. Thanks for coming in, boys. Appreciate it.
No worries. Good to be here.
Cheers, Scope.
We'll start off with the skipper of the South Sydney Rabbitohs, mate. Second year in now. What were some lessons that you learned from last year, taking over, guys like Johnny Sutton and GI, guys that have gone before you? What are some lessons you learned from last year in particular that you're going to take into this year, mate?
Yeah, it was a pretty tough year in terms of what actually went on. COVID, the break in between, and then obviously all the challenges we faced along the way. But for me, it was basically, worrying about the whole team and every individual in the team rather than yourself. You got to make sure you're at your top of your game every day, and when you're not, people pick up on it pretty quick, and you can't afford to do that as a captain. You got to lead by example every day, and I found it a bit of a challenge, but I've loved it.
And once again, another really successful year. You went all the way really deep, game short, like it's been the last couple of years. So a lot to obviously look forward to this year, and obviously look forward to trying to take that next step this year, eh?
Yeah, that's the plan. We've spoken about being at 3 prelims and coming up short, and as Wayne said, you'd rather not make the semis and get there and fail again. So for us, look, we know what's our DNA and we know what works for us. We just got to make sure we get that right. And obviously round one, we had the same old story of, starting slow and not completing. And that's been the Achilles heel that's let us down the last couple of years. So hopefully we can, rectify that over the next couple of rounds and further on into the season. And
you're sitting next to the Bloat FC skipper. Now that you're an experienced skipper yourself, is there any advice that you're giving to him? We'll talk about the round one soon coming up after the Gratefuls as well. Yeah, what have you said to him? Has there been any advice?
Oh, just to back yourself, mate. You got to lead from the front. Always, trust in what you say, even if it's wrong. You're right. So you can never be wrong. But yeah, his looks does all the talking. He lets everyone know that at training too. So.
Have you taken that on board? What's your thoughts going in? Have you had a chat to the rest of the boys yet? Have you had time? How's it been, mate? It's been like a whirlwind experience for you.
Obviously, very honoured to be named captain. Obviously, you were there with me on the FaceTime. I was a bit rattled when I found out, but I haven't really thought too much about it. Haven't really talked to the coach about his expectations this year or anything like that. So looking forward to it.
As skipper, were you happy with the lineup as well? Like you said, you touched on it. There's some good-looking roosters in there. Were there any other South Sydney Rabbitohs players that were a bit filthy that they missed out on it?
Yeah, most of them were.
Josh Mansell.
Yeah. Yes, his name come up a fair bit actually.
He was dirty,
and he actually replied and said, he got done. So was he one that was moving on to our grateful? Was he ungrateful that he wasn't a part of it?
Very ungrateful. Very ungrateful. Braden Burns, I thought, lucky to miss out.
Oh, yeah, another good one.
Yeah, he's a smoky too. He obviously hasn't played a lot of first grade, but he's always quietly upset when he doesn't make the top 13.
He rates himself too. So.
And seeing as your skipper, mate, like I said, I'm trying to grow out the hair now, so for people at home. Yeah. And I feel like we've got the same little vibe going on right now.
It's
what product do you use? Because this is, believe it or not, there's no product in here.
Yeah, I know.
What are you rolling with?
I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called like Rockwood or something, like the Stronghold one. So,
grouse.
Yeah, I'll send you a photo.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Mate,
that's what you need from your skipper.
He gets up out of the bed in the morning and it looks exactly the same. I reckon he's just natural,
Well, that's what you need from your skipper. It's like you get up, you're ready to go every day to be the skipper of South.
That's true.
He's up every day ready to be the best looking player in the competition.
In the world.
All right, boys. Like I said, before we get on to the intro, one thing I like to start the podcast with is something we're grateful for. Cam, have you got something you're grateful for?
Yeah, I said everything before. I'll specify that though. I'm grateful that we're playing footy tomorrow. We get a chance to make good what we didn't do good last week. So I said last week that a good thing about footy is that you get another week to rectify your mistakes, like the skipper just said. So I'm grateful got footy tomorrow.
Good, grateful. Ren?
For me, just being healthy, mate. Obviously having kids and whatnot, and dealing with people that are unfortunate to be going through a few circumstances and whatnot. Just the health, me and my family.
Yeah, beautiful, mate. And I'll finish off. I'm grateful for baby oil because I'm the masseuse of the Bloat FC. I've got these rough, rugged hands, so people don't know. I work as well. I turned up a little bit late today. But when I get that baby oil ready to go to be the masseuse of the Bloat FC, mate. So grateful for baby oil.
Beautiful. Nivea, mate, you can get 2 in 1.
Ooh, see, look, just see, this is why I invited you on, boys.
Get rid of the ash.
Got the info. On that note, hit the intro, please, Lukey.
Tell me what you need and need us. Tell me what you want and want us. Tell me what you call us.
This is where I do my best work, baby. Shit.
That's outstanding.
Yeah. Have you been in for? Because did we have the intro when you were in last time?
No, I think it was a different one. I don't think it was that.
No, I don't think we had anything back in that. Because I think it might have been Ren and Sut would have been what 5 or 6, eh? Yeah. So I think once it started to get rolling, we got Volley K.
Yep.
He sings down at Little Jack Horner and that sometimes. He whipped that up for us. So grateful for Volley. You touch on a little bit, both boys. We'll start with you, Ren, because I come to you for the Gratefuls, Cam. Bit of a tough start at that game. He started to find some momentum and finished off well in the second half. What was talked about after that game and sort of just talking about the pace of the game and whatnot?
Yeah, just our starts. As I touched on before, we started pretty slow in all the prelim final, the semi-final and the qualifying final. We can't afford to give up, leads like that to quality teams like Melbourne. Obviously, they're the benchmark of the competition, last year's premiers, and pretty hard to score points on. So anytime you're going to leak points like that, it's never easy or never ideal. We spoke about areas there we can be better in our defence. I think the first set they marched us about 80 metres, and not due to a lack of trying, just to a bit of concentration. And in the first 5 minutes or so, it's not good enough.
What about for you, Cam? What's the message for the pack going into this week? I know, playing in the forwards myself, we take it upon ourselves to make sure we get the good starts, put guys like Ren in good positions to kick in that. What are you sort of saying now? As you'd probably, you're probably you and Tommy are the senior members of that pack now. The guys have been around a fair bit. Do you take that upon yourself, or you're do you talk much, or you're an action sort of guy?
Oh yeah, I prefer my actions to do the talking, which I think is the way it should be. But it's crazy to think that me and Tommy are probably the longest lasting members of that forward pack there. So yeah, it's hits home a little bit there. Obviously,
it's quick turnover in the NRL, man. It doesn't take long before you look around and you're like 4 or 5 guys that you've played with for the last 5 years.
Yeah, it goes really fast, even for someone my age. But like you just touched on there, obviously the forward pack is where you want to sort of lay that foundation, lay the platform for your outside backs, and obviously when you got the quality out the back of the Cody Walkers, Adam, his direction out there, and then Latrell, and our whole back line, they've got a lot of strike power across the park, and I think we failed there as a forward pack, especially in that first 20 minutes, laying that platform and creating that momentum that the backs get the joy to sort of play off the back of there. So, we're pretty much defending for that first 20 minutes. So, and even, when we got some ball, we made a few errors in the middle there. And I think we didn't have a focus of running hard enough, playing the ball quick enough for Cookie and Cody to play off the back of. So, yeah, I don't think we earned the right on the weekend. I think we're playing catch up for the whole game, and yeah, the sort of turn. That's how the result turned out. So obviously, a big focus for us is to start well, take it personally as a forward pack, and make sure that we're doing what we're employed to do, and that's lay the foundation for the backs to get the joy in the back of.
Yeah, and talking about you touched on playing catch up there, Ren. You did catch up. Yep. You got back into it. You had a bit of a giggle with the boys. We've got a few of the card gang members too out there that play for Melbourne. For people who don't know, we're in a collect cards together, have a bit of a giggle. I seen there was like a little altercation around a captain's challenge. I believe a coffee was on the line. How did you go in that captain's challenge? Did you get it?
Yeah, I got Romy.
So Drome Hughes, Drome Hughes owes you a coffee.
I got Kenny as well. So he owes me a card.
Yeah,
he's tossed up some shit card anyway.
What was it? Ricky Rubio.
Yeah, Ricky Rubio, something base card. I don't know. No, it was just a bit of banter, a bit of fun on the field, and I was pretty confident, and we'd get the result there.
Yeah, and just one thing I've sort of noticed about a lot of the boys talking about the speed. I spoke to Money again about the speed of the game last night. Cam, has it gone up another notch again from last year, or is it how you feeling? Physically. I know it's only one game, but did you even the pace? Did you play in the Charity Shield game as well against Dragons? The pace has just gone up again.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a bit early to tell. Obviously, we've only had one round game. We had one trial there. We kind of had our full sort of starting 13 there. So I think it's a bit early to say, but you definitely pay for it a lot, especially the way we played last week when we don't complete, we don't respect the ball and give the opposition, a lot of ball and stuff like that. So yeah, it's I think it's only going to get faster and. I guess it's just a little bit more incentive to hold the ball, be a little bit more
conservative.
Conservative, consistent.
Yeah.
In our game plan and what we want to do. So, yeah, obviously it's. I think it kind of suits us. We've got a fit forward pack. We've had a really good preseason. So if we can get our completions as high as possible, and then obviously get our defensive sets on the back of that is where we want them. I think we can be, a really good side, but. Yeah, I guess it's just an extra incentive to hold that ball with the new rules in place now. So, yeah, hopefully we can do that this tomorrow.
That was your bread and butter at the end of last year too, Ren? Like when you went on that run, you started playing really good footy. These boys are laying a good platform for you, but you're completing so high, man, and just, kicking well to corners. And you've obviously got the skill in the backs, like you showed in the back end of that half against the Storm. When you get enough pill and you get down in your 50, you can put points on teams.
And that's what we pride ourselves on. We pride ourselves on going set to set with other teams and then breaking them. If you look at last year's sort of semi-finals, anytime we had a number of sets against another team, we sort of usually come out on top or thereabouts. We play a lot of eyes-up footy, which Wayne encourages us to do, and have a bit of joy on the back of that. We've got great combinations. The boys have been around each other for a long time now, and it's sort of suited to our game style. So I haven't found it too much quicker yet. Obviously, all the drop balls and stuff like that, tries sort of settled it down the other night. But I think you'll notice the biggest difference in that arm wrestle football.
Yeah. Did you see the Warriors and Titans game?
Yeah.
Did you watch that game?
They looked pretty quick.
They were completing at such a high rate, and then after about 10 minutes, bro, the whole 26 players that are out on the field were just fucking out on their feet.
Yeah, especially in the day. Day games are going to be pretty challenging. I think they had 20-minute breaks.
Yep, they did. Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously for us it's about, keeping that ball in, backing our fitness and, we've got that skill and execution on the end of it.
Yeah, beautiful. You just finished captain's run, boys. Had a quick little captain's run this morning. You got Bird Gang tomorrow. We're not going to drop this until Sunday. It's generally a tough time to get the Bird Gang after they've been smacked. What are some of the things would you prefer to play a team, Cam, after they got smacked or on a 2 or 3 winning streak? Like, how do you feel going into this game? Because you're both obviously now, it's only 1 week, but you both really want to win round 2, don't you?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think too much about, winning streaks and, if we've got a team on a good or bad day, I try and focus on what my job is, what I need to do for the team. I think that's the way you need to approach it as a collective unit too. You can't really think too much about the opposition. It's more about, focus on what we need to do well because I think that's the most important part of the game and that's where the game's won or lost is how you play individually and then collectively as a team. So, any NRL team on their day is a great team. So, obviously Manly coming off a pretty big loss, it's they'll be up for it. And I think what I touched on before, taking a little bit more personally as a pack, working a little bit more harder for each other, starting better, completions better, and just a more simple focus, run hard, tackle hard, get quick play the balls for Cookie. It's, if you strip it right back, it's a pretty simple game, but the hardest thing to do is execute it. So, that's from a forwards point of view, I think that's where our focus will be tomorrow.
Mate, and your neighbours, the Chooks, did a number on them last week. Is there anything in particular that you looked at for you, Ren, attacking-wise that you liked? Because I noticed this one thing I said on a tipping show is that back in my day, like when I played for Manly and what they're renowned for is up and end defence, do you think they were backing off a fair bit throughout the game? I don't know. Do you think that's more to do with how well the Roosters were playing, or do you think that might be a style that they're playing with this year?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. If you look at the pack last week for the Roosters, they dominated through the middle first. I think they scored a number of tries through the middle of Manly's pack, and once you damage in the middle of the field, it becomes a pretty lonely place to defend on the edges there. So I'm not too sure if that's their style of backing off this year or up and in, but look, we'll try and implement the same game plan, go through them, and then see what their edges are doing. But
fuck, if they back off against you, fucking you boys.
Yeah,
Codes and
Latrell
Latrell are going to have a field day.
So in the middle there. So hopefully we can generate that momentum. Completion's the main focus. They're tipping it's going to be pretty wet there. So kicking game becomes very important. And
beautiful. That's where you come in.
Step up.
Yep. All right, well, boys, well, like I said, I hope I haven't jinxed you because I never get Manly games right. I think it's because of, I don't know, I'm too passionate about it. Lukey's looking over the screen here because he's happy about his Eels getting up last night. But last week I declared Manly my upset of the week. That went really well, as you know. I even looked for the plus 9.5 too for the betting show. That was fucking scrapped after 3 minutes. So, but I've bet on you boys this week. So sorry, boys, in advance. If anything happens, that's my fault.
We'll try and lift the curse.
But good luck for the weekend. Last little question. We'll finish off with the giggle. We do this with all the boys that come in. We'll start with you, Cam. If there was one person in the team that you would least like to date, do you have a sister?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do have a sister. Beautiful. It's good for when it's even better when they actually got sisters. So who you would least like to date your sister and why?
Least likely?
Yeah, least that you would least.
In my team?
In your team, yeah. Or in another team would be even better. No, go in your team.
I'm not one to throw anyone on the bus. I don't like doing that.
Another team, Tony Ruboff.
Oh, yeah, Tobes.
Yeah. Who am I going to say? I don't know. Look, there's not many single boys there at the club anymore, so there's not much that goes on. Troy Dargan sort of fancies himself as a bit of a ladies' man.
There we go. That's me guy. That's me guy.
But in saying that, he's a very respectful young man. So I don't really want to say him. I don't know. I'll probably just have to say Liam Knight. I've had a few nights out with him. He's pretty funny. He's a bit of a maniac too.
Yeah, Liam Knight come through Manly when I was at Manly too.
Oh, yeah,
so I know a bit about Liam Knight. Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah, I'll say Liam with all respect.
Yeah. What about you, Ren? Least like to date your sister, your made-up sister, and why?
My made-up sister. I was thinking you were going to switch the question there and say, who would you like to date your sister? But
yeah, we'll go next. So you'll lead off with that next, and then we'll finish off with Cam.
I'll probably have to say Cody Walker, I think.
Least like?
Oh, no. Yeah. Cody, he's a pest. Proper pest. Pinches you on the legs all day.
Yeah.
Stuff, wet
just
stuff.
Torture.
He's dirty.
Yeah, he's a grub.
Leaves all his clothes on the floor. Same as Liam Knight. So one of them too.
One of them too. We'll leave Liam for Cam.
Cody, yeah.
And we've got Cody for you. All right. So who would you most like to? Not most. What's the word? You'd like to date your sister and why?
Oh, obviously the man sitting next to me.
Yeah.
Bloat SC captain.
Yeah. Nice choice.
Just look at that smile, mate.
Look at that. The baby blues.
Great sort, and he's got heaps of cash too. So, mate, I'd be living in the basement. So
how good. Yeah, you just got a little backup option.
100%.
Yeah, beautiful. You spend too much money on cards, you can go stay at your brother-in-law's place.
100%.
Beautiful. What about you, Cam?
I don't know. Maybe
it's always hard for the boys that have got sisters. Like they always find it harder because then they start thinking about like, no, I don't want that.
Who do I say? I don't know. If Jake Trebojevic is in my team, it'd be him 100%.
Yeah, Jakey,
the best person I've ever met.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably have to say
Jason Clark.
Yeah,
just
Clark
Clarky. I don't know. Clarky's a ledge. Clarky's a ledge.
In my current team, I probably have to say, I don't know, Damien Cook's respectful. I like him. We get along well. I think he'd be a good brother-in-law. So I'd say Damien Cook. I
see Cookie rolling around at Carroll. We live in the same little area. I see him rolling around. He looks like a really good family man.
Yeah.
A good dad. He's picking up his kids from the school, from the cafe we eat all the time.
That's what he owns a suburb.
Yeah.
Thinks he owns it.
Yeah. He's got liqueur up there going there for...
he plugs that every time. So liqueur's a little plug again.
And he's not too bad at Frisbee too. Jesus, quick off the bar.
Yeah.
Obviously you watch him play, but when we play Frisbee, he's a freak.
Yeah. Just quietly, I think he's dirty. Didn't make the Blood FC team as well.
Oh yeah, he's a good. He's going up against Connor Watson though.
Nah, he's filthy. He's filthy. He's dirty.
I think he's
in the top 100.
So
I think
play the personality card too. I think.
Yeah.
So he thinks he's got a mad person that should get him over. Yeah, but what about like who does he push out? You've got Cam at lock, so you can't push out Connor Watson. Like Connor Watson's a forefather of Bloat FC. He's been there for about 3 years.
Get him cut in the oranges.
Yeah. Look, I don't have much actual pull at Bloat FC. I'm just a masseuse, and Kempy gave me. I was allowed to make one change.
Okay.
Who'd you change?
Who'd you change?
I fuck it, I'll say it. I switched Snackenhausen. he had Pappenhausen starting fullback, and I switched him for KP because this is and I've put a lot of thought into this as well. I didn't just fuck around. KP was the people's choice. NRL roast. Beak considers himself the people's beak. Yep. He's got to listen to the people. True. Yep. That was my argument for it. So they voted KP number 1. I think Cam was floating around in the top 5, maybe 3, number 2, or you were number 2.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
He knows where he is.
Yeah, he knows where he is. He knows where he is. But yeah, so that was my only change. I didn't want to get too carried away. Maybe I'll get 2 or 3 next year, and I can speak to the coach Beak about it. But we'll wait until then.
Apprenticeship this year.
Until then, good luck for the season, boys. Appreciate you coming on, and I'll probably see you throughout the year, Skipper.
No worries, mate.
Thanks, boys.
Looking forward to it.